As a developer, we know how crucial API documentation is at work. Having clear and concise documentation can make the difference between a smooth and efficient one. This video includes what a developer documentation portal is, the benefits it can bring to your organization, and the best practices for creating an effective one. API documentation is important in the development process because it provides the necessary information on interacting with an API. APIs are complex, and their documentation must be comprehensive and easy to understand. A developer portal is a website that provides developers with documentation, tools, and other resources needed to work with an API. It can include tutorials, sample code, and other materials that make it easier for developers to integrate an API into their applications. There are many benefits of having a developer documentation portal for your API. Firstly, it helps developers to understand the purpose of the API and how to use it. This reduces the time they spend trying to figure out how to use the API, which in turn reduces the time it takes to integrate the API into their applications. Secondly, it helps organizations to reduce the support burden on their developers. When developers have access to comprehensive documentation, they are less likely to contact support for help. This is because they can usually find the answers they need in the documentation. Finally, a developer documentation portal can also serve as a marketing tool. When developers search for APIs to use in their applications, they often look for documentation first. If an API has clear and comprehensive documentation, it is more likely to be considered for use. In conclusion, API documentation and developer portals are critical tools for organizations that provide APIs. They help developers to understand and use the API more effectively, reducing the support burden on an organization. Connect with us today to get your API documentation and developer portal for your organization.